Chapter 10 Living Creatures, Exploring Their Characteristics. Characteristics of living beings. The characteristics of the living things are respiration, excretion, reproduction, movement, growth, and nutrition. Movement. Living things can move from one place to another. This characteristic is called movement. Different animals move in different ways. Lions and deer run. Rabbits and kangaroos hop. Snakes and lizards crawl. Birds fly, while fish and octopuses swim in water. Though plants cannot move from one place to another, but they show certain types of movements. Roots grow towards water and the earth, while stems and leaves grow towards light. Buds open into flowers. Insectivorous plants like Drosera trap insects with sticky, folding leaves. Climbers like money plants and peas wind around supports. Growth. The increase in size of a living being over time after living being is called growth. Living things grow taller and wider. For example, a puppy into a dog, an infant into an adult, and a seedling into a plant. Nutrition. The intake of food and its utilization by living being to get energy is known as nutrition. Nutrition is one of the important characteristics of all living beings. Breathing and respiration. Breathing is taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. It is a part of respiration. Different living beings have different organs for breathing. Human beings, cats, dogs, etc. breathe through lungs. Earthworms breathe through moist skin. Insects breathe through small holes or openings found on the body called spiracles. Fishes have special breathing organs called gills to absorb oxygen from water. Plants have tiny pores called stomata for breathing. These pores are present on the surface of the leaves. Excretion. The process by which waste substances are removed from the body is called excretion. The substances removed in this process are called excretory products. In humans and animals, wastes are removed as urine, sweat, and carbon dioxide. Kidneys produce urine, sweat glands release salts and water, and respiration excretes carbon dioxide. Plants also excrete their waste substances. They also excrete excess water through a process called transpiration, where water evaporates from the leaves through stomata into the atmosphere. Some plants, like grass and roses, excrete waste as tiny water droplets on their leaves. They also remove mineral waste through roots and leaves. Response to stimuli. Anything or any event that causes living beings to respond is called a stimulus, plural stimuli. All living beings respond to stimuli. Plants also respond to stimuli. The touchminot or mimosa plant folds its leaves when touched. Amla folds its leaves after sunset, and sunflowers follow the sun's movement during the day. Reproduction. The process of producing new ones of one's own kind is called reproduction. Reproduction is an essential characteristic of all living organisms as it ensures the continuity of life on Earth. Many animals, such as cats, dogs, cows and human beings, give birth to their babies, whereas birds, insects, frogs, snakes, etc. lay eggs. When eggs hatch, new ones come out. Plants also reproduce through seeds. Germination of seed. A seed is a part of a plant that helps it to reproduce. The seed has a protective covering called a seed coat. Inside, there's a small structure called embryo. When the seed gets suitable conditions, its embryo starts growing into a new plant. This process is called germination. All seeds need water, oxygen, and the right environment for germination. Let us understand the role of these conditions in seed germination. Water softens the seed coat and supports the tiny embryo inside it to develop into a plant. Air and soil are also necessary for germination, as seeds use the oxygen available in the spaces between soil particles. Sunlight is generally not always necessary for germination because some seeds require darkness to germinate. Seeds of coleus and petunia require light to germinate. Covering these seeds with soil inhibits their sprouting. Seeds of calendula and zinnia need darkness to germinate. These seeds should be covered with sufficient soil. Growth and movements in plants. When a seed sprouts, the root grows downward and the shoot upward, adjusting direction even if the seed is upside down. Life cycle of a plant. When a seed germinates, it grows into a sprout with roots and shoots, then develops leaves, flowers, and fruits. New seeds form inside the fruits, continuing the plant life cycle. This entire process, from a seed growing into a plant and then producing new seeds, is called the life cycle of a plant. Life cycle of animals. The young ones of some animals, such as mosquitoes and frogs, look very different from the adults. Life cycle of a mosquito. The mosquito life cycle has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Eggs are laid in or near water by female mosquitoes. The eggs hatch into larvae, which live underwater and grow into pupae. An adult mosquito emerges from the pupa and it can live for 10 to 15 days. Female mosquitoes bite and suck blood from humans, as they need blood to produce eggs. These mosquitoes spread diseases like malaria, dengue, and chikungunya. How can we disrupt the life cycle of a mosquito? Spraying kerosene oil on stagnant water can prevent mosquitoes from growing and breeding. The oil forms a layer on the water surface, cutting off the oxygen supply to the larvae and pupae, causing them to suffocate and die. Life cycle of a frog. A frog's life cycle has 4 stages: egg, tadpole, froglet, and adult frog. A female frog lays eggs in water called spawn. Eggs hatch into tadpoles with gills and tails. As the tadpoles continue to grow, they develop hind legs and front legs, and their tails shrink. Slowly, the tadpoles start looking like little frogs called froglets. Eventually, the froglets become adult frogs that can live both in water and on land.